Hello, Andy and Julian. I'm going to continue to read Stone Fox, like I had told you. And we are going to pick up right where we left off. We were on page 45 at the top. And so that's where we're going to pick up. And you can see they're in the general store. There's a picture. And so we are going to begin right on page 45. Remember, you're going to alternate reading either a page or 2 pages with the read aloud that I'm doing for you. So remember to push pause on this recording as you go through your reading. Gonna be a good one this year. They say the mountain man, the Indian called Snowed Fox, might come. Never lost a race. No wonder with 5 Samoyeds. But Little Willie wasn't listening as he ran out of the store, clutching the poster in his hand. Thank you, Lester. Thank you. Grandfather's eyes were fixed on the ceiling. Little Willie had to stand on his toes in order to position the poster directly in front of Grandfather's face. I'll win, Little Willie said. You'll see. They'll never take this farm away. Searchlight barked and put one paw up on the bed. Grandfather closed his eyes, squeezing out a tear that rolled down and filled up his ear. Little Willie gave Grandfather a big hug, and Searchlight barked again. Chapter 6. Little Willie went to see Mayor Smiley at the City Hall building in town to sign up for the race. The mayor's office was large and smelled like hair tonic. The mayor sat in a bright red chair with his feet on his desk. There was nothing on the desk except the mayor's feet. We have a race for you youngsters 1 hour before, Mayor Smiley mopped sweat from his neck with a silk handkerchief, although Little Willie thought it was quite cool in the room. I want to enter the real race, Mr. Mayor. You must be funning, boy. The mayor laughed twice and blotted his neck. Anyway, there's an entrance fee. How much? $50. Little Willie was stunned. That was a lot of money to enter just a race, but he was determined. He ran across the street to the bank. Don't be stupid, Mr. Foster told Willie. This is not a race for amateurs. Some of the best dog teams in the Northwest will be entering. I have Searchlight. We go fast as lightning. Really, Mr. Foster, we do. Mr. Foster shook his head. You don't stand a chance of winning. Yes, we do. Willie, the money in your savings account is for college education. You know I can't give it to you. You have to. I do? It's my money. Little Willie left the bank with a stack of $10 gold pieces, five of them to be exact. He walked into the mayor's office and plopped the coins down on the mayor's desk. Me and Searchlight are gonna win that $500, Mr. Mayor. You'll see. Everybody will see. Mayor Smiley counted the money, wiped his neck, and entered Little Willie in the race. When Little Willie stepped out of the City Hall building, he felt 10 feet tall. He looked up and down the snow-covered street. He was grinning from ear to ear. Searchlight walked over and stood in front of the sled, waiting to be hitched up. But Little Willie wasn't ready to go yet. He put his thumbs in his belt loops and let the sun warm his face. He felt great. In his pocket was a map Mayor Smiley had given him, showing the 10 miles the race would cover. Down Main Street, right on North Road, Little Willie could hardly hold back his excitement. 5 miles of the race he traveled every day and knew with his eyes closed. The last 5 were back into town along South Road, which was mostly straight and flat. It's speed that would count here. And with the lead, he knew he could get in the first 5 miles. Little Willie was sure he could win. As Little Willie hitched Searchlight to the sled, something down at the end of the street, some moving object, caught his eye. They were difficult to see because they were all white. There were 5 of them, and they were beautiful. In fact, They were the most beautiful Samoyeds Little Willie had ever seen. The dogs held their heads up proudly and strutted in unison. They pulled a large but lightly constructed sled. They also pulled a large but by no means lightly constructed man. Way down at the end of the street, the man looked normal. But as the sled got closer, the man got bigger and bigger. The man was an Indian dressed in furs and leather with moccasins that came all the way up to his knees. His skin was dark and his hair was dark, and he wore a dark-colored headband. His eyes sparkled in the sunlight, but the rest of his face was hard as stone. The sled came to a stop right next to Little Willie. The boy's mouth hung open as he tilted his head way back to look up at the man. Little Willie had never seen a giant before. Gosh, Little Willie gasped. The Indian looked at Little Willie. His face was solid granite, but his eyes were alive and cunning. Howdy, Little Willie blurted out, and he gave a nervous smile. But the Indian said nothing. His eyes shifted to Searchlight, who let out a soft moan, but did not bark. The giant walked into the City Hall building. Word that Stone Fox had entered the race spread throughout the town of Jackson. Within an hour, and throughout the state of Wyoming within the day. Stories and legends about the awesome mountain man followed shortly. Little Willie heard many of them at Lester's General Store. Was this time in Denver, he snapped a man's back with 2 fingers, said Dusty. The town drunk. But nobody believed him, really. Little Willie learned that no white man had ever heard Stone Fox talk. Stone Fox refused to speak with the white man because of the treatment his people had received. His tribe, the Shoshu, who were peaceful seed gatherers, had been forced to leave Utah and settle on a reservation in Wyoming with another tribe called the Arapaho. Stone Fox's dream was for his people to return to their homeland. Stone Fox was using the money he won from racing to simply buy the land back. He had already purchased 4 farms and over 200 acres. That Stone Fox was smart, all right. In the next week, Little Willie and Searchlight went over the 10-mile track every day until they knew every inch of it by heart. Stone Fox hardly practiced at all. In fact, Little Willie saw Stone Fox do the course once, and then he sure wasn't going fast. The race was scheduled for Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Only 9 sleds were entered. Mayor Smiley had hoped for more contestants, but after Stone Fox had entered, well, you couldn't blame people for wanting to save their money. It was true, Stone Fox had never lost a race, but Little Willie wasn't worried. He had made up his mind to win, and nothing was going to stop him. Not even Stone Fox. That's the end of chapter 6. Please make sure you have alternated your reading with my reading and look for additional postings.